You wake up to silence, not the peaceful kind, not the early morning silence, but a silence so complete, so unnatural. It feels like the world is holding its breath. Your phone alarm never rang. Your neighbor's dog never barked. No cars, no voices, no airplanes overhead, just nothing. You stumble outside into the hall of your apartment building. Doors hang open. Breakfast sits on tables. TVs glow with frozen images. It looks like everyone simply stood up and vanished. You call out. Your voice echoes back at you, thin, weak, swallowed by the empty world. Something is horribly wrong. You check your phone, no signal. You turn on the radio, static. You scroll social media, no updates for the last 6 hours. Then you see the final post ever uploaded. Is anyone else seeing this? People are disappearing. I'm scared. And then, nothing. The world has gone quiet. And you realize you may be the last human alive. Panic hits you like a cold wave. You race outside. Streets stretch before you like abandoned movie sets. Cars idle with no drivers. A bus sits in the middle of an intersection. Its doors open, passengers gone. You scream into the vast emptiness, no answer. Your instinct takes over. Find another survivor. You run to the nearest houses. You pound on doors, break windows, shout names. Every room is the same, places frozen in time. A half-poured glass of milk. A phone buzzing endlessly, a TV showing the last news broadcast. Mass disappearances reported across multiple continents. The anchor never finishes the sentence. For hours you roam, searching, calling out, listening for anything human. A cough, a cry, a footstep, nothing. The silence now feels like a living thing, pressing on your chest. Night falls. Cities without people suddenly look feral, too large, too dark, too indifferent. You light every lamp in your home. You sleep with the TV on for comfort. But deep down, you know tomorrow won't bring anyone back. The next day, you force yourself to do something terrifying. You accept the possibility that you truly are alone. You grab a bicycle and ride through the city. Stores are unlocked, roads are empty. Every place you once thought belonged to society now feels like ruins of a vanished species. You gather supplies, food, water, batteries. You enter a police station and use their radio equipment. You broadcast a message. My name is, if you can hear this, respond. I'm alive. Are you? No reply. You climb onto the roof. You look over the empty world beneath, and the truth settles in like a weight on your shoulders. Humanity, billions of voices, stories, dreams, has gone silent. Except for yours. You whisper into the wind, why me? Weeks pass. At first, the freedom is intoxicating. You sleep in penthouses you could never afford. You explore abandoned theme parks, ride roller coasters alone, eat anything from fancy restaurants. You re-enter places once crowded, airports, stadiums, shopping malls. Your footsteps echo through them like ghostly reminders of what used to be. You walk through a library and realize every book ever written is now yours. You step into a museum, and all the world's art now hangs for your eyes only. The world is yours, but absolute freedom has a cost. There's no one to share it with. Joy withers without an audience. Laughter dies without another laugh to bounce off. The novelty fades, and you start talking to mannequins just to hear a voice, even if it's your own. Humans are not built for isolation. Within a month, your brain begins to betray you. You experience shadows that move when you're not looking, voices that mimic friends you once knew, faces you swear you see in windows, dreams so vivid they follow you into waking life. Your own mind becomes the last enemy you never expected. To survive, you try to create structure. Morning, check radio equipment. Afternoon, gather supplies. Evening, write a log of the day. Night, watch recorded videos of people, just to feel human contact. But the loneliness grows fangs. And every night you ask the same question. How long before I forget what a conversation sounds like? Months pass. You realize the world is changing without humans. Nature is reclaiming everything. Grass breaks through sidewalks, wild animals flood into cities, birds nest inside skyscrapers. Once quiet forests grow louder, fuller, wilder. You become something like a researcher, observing the fall of civilization. But more importantly, you begin to change too. You learn to hunt, to fish, to fix engines, to purify water. You discover how to run power from solar grids. You map migration patterns of wolves overtaking the suburbs. You become the last human scientist, the last explorer, the last historian. But every breakthrough tastes bitter because no one will ever know what you've learned. One evening, after surviving a violent storm that nearly destroys your shelter, something breaks inside you. Not physically, emotionally. You sit alone in the dark and face a truth you've avoided for months. You are the entire human story now. The final chapter, the end of a species. And that realization doesn't shatter you, it empowers you. You begin a ritual, your new purpose. If you are the last, then you must leave behind the story of humanity. You travel to museums, archives, libraries. You gather seeds, art, tools, books. You build a vault deep underground. Inside it, you store everything that made humans human. Music, maps, photographs, letters, DNA samples. Your own written accounts. You record videos speaking to a future that might never exist. My name is, and if anyone ever finds this, this is who we were. The vault becomes your legacy, a time capsule for a species that vanished in a single sunrise. Years pass, your hair grays, your body slows, your voice grows thin, raspy, but determined. You decide there is one final thing left to do. See the world one last time. You start traveling. Through the overgrown ruins of New York, where vines crawl up broken skyscrapers. Across the silent deserts of the Middle East, where sand buries abandoned cars and forgotten cities. Through European cathedrals, where dust dances in sunlight like ancient prayers. Into the jungles reclaiming old roads, where tigers stare at you like a strange intruder. Across cold Arctic tundras, listening to winds that have forgotten human names. You become a wandering witness to the earth after us. And somewhere along your journey, you stop being afraid. You finally accept the loneliness, you make peace with the silence. Because you are no longer surviving for yourself. You are surviving to remember. You settle in a small cabin, overlooking a valley swallowed by green. The sun sets, the world grows quiet. You breathe slowly, deeply, peacefully. You write your final message in your journal. If someone finds this, know that we lived with love, with pain, with hope. Know that we existed, and I held on as long as I could. You close the book, you place it inside your pack. You look out at the world one last time, the world that once echoed with billions of voices and now holds only one. You smile. One day, long after you're gone, your vault will remain. Your journals will remain. Your videos will remain. The stories of humanity will remain waiting patiently beneath the earth. And perhaps someday, another species, another intelligence, another visitor will open your vault. They will see your face on an old screen. They will read your words. They will walk through the silent remains of your world. And you, the last human, will become our final ambassador, a single fragile voice carrying the memory of billions into the far future. Humanity will not die in silence because you refuse to let it. Subscribe for more worlds to explore. Leave a like so this story reaches others, and share it so the echo never fades.